Let us speak about COVID-19. The first reports of COVID-19 came from Wuhan, China. It is said that the virus spread through contaminated foods from the Hunan seafood marketplace in Wuhan. The most popular hypothesis is the theory that bats are responsible for COVID-19, but tests show that pigs, ferrets, cats, orangutans, monkeys, and some species of bats and humans have similar levels of affinity for the coronavirus. And this is based on similarity of their ACE2 receptors. Scientists are now theorizing COVID-19 did originate with bats. In this particular theory, the bat didn't infect humans, they infected other animals, and from there, we have transmission to people. In the Hunan seafood market, not only do they sell bats, but also dogs, snakes, birds, and pangolins. But not every case of COVID-19 was originally from the seafood marketplace. With that being said, we can confidently state that the virus originates in China, whether from bats or other animals. In Wuhan or not, it's China. Here is a video of the Hunan seafood marketplace in Wuhan, China. The first cases of COVID-19 occurred in November 17, 2019, weeks before doctors and the World Health Organization realized that they were dealing with the novel virus. The first person recorded with the illness was a 55-year-old woman from Hubei, China, but it is not known she was patient 0. It is also believed that the first case was of a 19-year-old man, also from Hubei, China, but the latest studies pushed the claim 2 weeks prior. There was also a claim that the first cases are from October 2019, but I did not find any facts to support this claim, so I will not be reporting on it. By December 31, 2019, China's health officials informed the WHO about the cluster of 41 patients with a mysterious pneumonia. Most connect to Hunan seafood marketplace. Notice the statement from the Chinese officials was not all cases, which is on a par with what I stated before, that all cases originate from the seafood marketplace, but they belong to Wuhan, China. Before that, not all cases originate from the seafood marketplace, but they all belong to Wuhan, China. January 1st, 2020, China closes the seafood marketplace. On January 7th, China identifies the mysterious illness as the coronavirus. On January 11th, China reports its first death. On January 13th, the first coronavirus cases are reported out of Thailand. January 20th, the first U.S. case is reported in Washington state. On January 30th, the WHO declares a global public health emergency. On January 31st, Trump bans foreign nationals from entering the U.S. if they were in China within the prior weeks. February 1st, first death case reported outside China. February 19th, the death toll in China surpasses that of the 2002 to 2003 SARS. February 12th, COVID-19 cases spike in South Korea. February 19th, outbreaks begin in Iran. February 21st, Italy outbreaks begin. February 29th, US reports its first death. March 3rd, cases begin to sharpen in Spain. March 8th, Italy locks down 60 million of their residents. March 11th, the WHO declares a pandemic. Trump bans travel from 26 countries. March 13th, a US national emergency is declared. Let us stop for a moment here. From December 31st, all the way to January 20th, the White House did nothing. 7 days later, the WHO declares a global public health emergency, and the White House did zero. On January 31st, Trump does ban Chinese nationals from entering the US, but let's take a look into this in detail. Since China disclosed the outbreak to the WHO, at least 430,000 people have traveled to and fro from China, and since Trump's travel ban, 40,000 people in the past 2 months have traveled to China, and this is according to an analysis by both countries. Thousands of them flew to Wuhan, the center of the virus, and returned to the US. This is from an article written in the New York Times, and it clearly shows how the White House mishandled the travel ban. And not only that, but they acted 2 months too late. On March 17th, a leaked model of the pandemic forecast it will last nearly 18 months. On March 23rd, New York City reports 21 cases. April 2nd, the world surpasses 1 million of infections. April 7th, US reported 1,900 dead from the coronavirus. As of April 19th, the numbers confirmed of cases reached 720,202 and 37,202 deaths. Let's look at President Trump's words. He withheld funds from the WHO in April. He complains the World Health Organization put too much faith in Beijing's assertion that it had the coronavirus outbreak under control. He also stated that had the WHO done their job to get medical experts in China to objectively assess the situation on the ground, the outbreak would have been contained with very little death. Let's dive into this matter. In January and February, Trump touted China's government for its transparency and hard work to defeat the coronavirus. On January 24th, Trump tweets, "China has been working very hard to contain the coronavirus. The United States greatly appreciates their efforts and transparency. It will all work out well. In particular, on behalf of the American people, I want to thank President Xi." On February 7th, he tweeted, "Just had a long and very good conversation by the phone with President Xi of China. He is strong, sharp, and powerfully focused on leading the counterattack on the virus. He feels they are doing very well, even building hospitals in a matter of only days. Great discipline is taking place in China as President Xi strongly leads what will be a very successful operation. We are working closely with China to help." On February 10th, in a campaign rally in Manchester, New Hampshire, he states, "I spoke with President Xi and they are working very, very hard, and I think it's all going to work out fine." Donald Trump praised Chinese President Xi, but then he cut funding from the World Health Organization for not pushing the Chinese government to do more about the coronavirus, when Trump himself praised China for their great work. And I suspect, and this is my conclusion of all this, Trump realized China could not get the situation under control. And Trump did not take the coronavirus seriously because he spoke about it in a rally. Trump made this comment. He also claimed it was under control. He claimed they had lost nobody to the coronavirus at the time. But to be fair, he did say it doesn't mean we won't. But he also made the mistake of stating, and his words are very clear, we are prepared. Have a listen to the rally.
Now the Democrats are politicizing the coronavirus. You know that, right? Coronavirus. And this is their new hoax. But, you know, we did something that's been pretty amazing. And so far, we have lost nobody to coronavirus in the United States. And it doesn't mean we won't. And we are totally prepared.
Then Trump's campaign issues a cease and desist letter to television stations that aired what his campaign called blatantly false, misleading, and deceptive. This is in reference to President Trump calling the coronavirus a hoax by the Democrats. And in the video, it's very clear. Do not forget that since the WHO was informed by China about the virus, something as serious as this A potential pandemic, a mysterious illness not be briefed to the White House by the World Health Organization is laughable. Since December 31st, when the Chinese gave the report to the WHO, Trump did nothing, all the way up to March 13th, when he finally declared an emergency. And by then, it was too late. From his lack of care, thousands have died on his watch. Keep in mind that the Chinese people aren't responsible for the virus in a human sense, but the Chinese government is responsible for the virus leaving China. What they aren't responsible for is how the US handled the virus on its own soil. That's Donald Trump's responsibility, in which he failed because of the thousands of deaths and his broken economy that he now has to face and the aftermath that's to come. 3.3 million people filed for unemployment initially, 22 million jobless as of today. It's estimated that 47 million people will be in poverty, the aftermath of Trump's stupidity. Let's take a look at some tweets that prove Trump did not take the pandemic seriously initially. Tweet 1, December 24th, the coronavirus is very much under control in the USA. We are in contact with everyone and all relevant countries. CDC and World Health Organization have been working hard and very smart. Stock market starting to look very good to me. Tweet number 2, December 26th, low ratings, fake news. MSDNC, Comcast, and CNN are doing everything possible to make the coronavirus look as bad as possible, including panicking markets if possible. Likewise, they are incompetent, do-nothing Democrats. Comrades are all talk. USA is in great shape. He completely sounds like a 2-year-old. And the point to all this is Trump was 2 months too late, and a lot of people gave him a month, but not me. But who the fuck am I, right? Well, given the information I just presented, yes, he was 2 months too late. Any other interpretation of the information is nonsense and impossible, criminal if thou will. And this is all that I can say with confidence. Trump left the country unprepared and unprotected. If anything at all is impeachable, this is it. He put all lives of the Americans at stake because he has some mental illness of fighting with Democrats on hoaxes and personal attacks on the media. Trump defenders are claiming that Trump asked Congress for $1.25 billion to fight against the coronavirus in late February. And that is true, but what exactly did Trump do with the money? Because that currency was supposed to go to aid for the states. But as well, we all know that the federal government is being hard on states that disapprove of Trump, and Trump is giving the money to states that aren't as affected as other states. And that's everything. I'm sure there will be more information in the future, but that's another video for another time. Thank you for watching, and anyone can come to their own conclusions, and that's it. Subscribe. Thank you.